If you're nervous, what you're nervous about will come true. If you're confident, everything will go pretty well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Minnesota Varsity League. My name is Epiphany, and today I am joined by Mr. Supersonic. We've got some awesome Rocket League action for you today, and I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to this Sunday stream. It's going to be a good one. Supersonic, how you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Trying to bundle up and get used to Minnesota cold weather. Apparently this is only the beginning, but settling in, trying to settle into the Minnesota winter.
Yeah, it's been a tough transition for me, I gotta say. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's how it goes, you know. It's half of our lives here. But regardless, we've got a great match to start things off here. We got Chisago versus Matamidai. And I gotta tell you, both of these teams, they're definitely gonna be interesting to look at. When we pull up the records, I gotta tell you that when you look at Matamidai 0-2, they need this rebound. They need this match to be a good one. Otherwise, they're really going to be in the depths. And then you look at Chisago 1-2. You know, you want to try to get even here. Just when you already start to think about playoffs, when you already start to think about the records going into that, you need some kind of momentum. And this is an opportunity for both of these teams to start to pick things up.
Yeah, it's definitely a turning point. It's one of those ones, still very early, right? Start off on the
Right,
wrong,
right.
but definitely a lot of things that you can go ahead and turn around. Opportunities here. This is going to be a good matchup for between the two. We'll see how it shakes out for one of them. One of them will be walking away with a W, so I think Matamita might want that just a little bit more.
For sure, yeah. You know, I think Mata Mirai, they're definitely one of the teams that they're in a rough situation, right? They gotta find a way to get out of the hole that they're in, and this is your turning point match. This is really where you need to pick it up. And I also want to add an interesting bit here. It looks like we're gonna have a mid-match substitution occur in this match at some
Mhm.
point. I believe on the side of Mata Mirai. So that'll be an interesting thing to see is how will they kind of adapt to that? What will their deviation be maybe from their previous strategy based on the new players coming in? I think that's definitely going to be an interesting challenge to overcome or possibly maybe a good thing for them. We'll have to see.
Uh, it's one of those things that can go so many different ways, right? It could go against you in the sense that you're now playing with somebody that maybe you don't have as much time or chemistry built up with, or it can go
Right.
the other way where maybe something's going wrong for you and now the play style shifts when you slot in a new player. In twos, that's half the team. That really changes the dynamic and the feel of a team on the pitch, which can throw the other team for a loop. So depending on when it happens in the series, etc., uh it's it's one of those things that's kind of hard to tell what it'll do, but it's kind of fun to hypothesize about.
For sure, yeah, we can hypothesize all we want about it, but I mean, honestly, in the end, it's gonna take adaptation. There's gonna be some kind of change in there that they have to overcome. They're gonna have to
Yep.
figure it out. And you know, as we get the games ready to go here, I get kind of curious as well about Chisago Lakes. Like, how are they going to adapt to that adaptation as well? You know, maybe that's going to be something that throws them off a bit because I will say to everybody, you are allowed to do that mid-game substitution as long as it is in between individual rounds or individual games rather.
Yeah.
So that's something that's completely allowed here. So that's something that I personally don't think I have seen casting Mnvl. So yeah, anyways, will be definitely a very interesting thing to do. But Supersonic, I also want to ask you, you know, when you look at something like that, when you look at a team that is kind of down in the dumps right now, having trouble, both of these teams looking to kind of break even or rather just get something on the board, what is the primary focus that you need to have in order to do that?
Primary focus is one, you can't really focus on your record. If you're sitting there and you're
Mm-hmm.
worried about your record and you're focused on that, you're not really focused on the game ahead of you. Gotta have all your attention on the pitch and just take it
Right.
game by game, right? You're gonna have to go in there, just make sure you're hitting the clean rotations, no double commits. If there's clearly something wrong rotationally, if you're coming and starting the season off kind of 0-2 or in that situation, there's something there. You got to figure out what that problem is and start addressing it. And usually the best way to start kind of addressing a situation, if you don't necessarily know where the problem is start just going back to clean rotational play, making sure that you're in the right spot, covering for your teammate, you're not doubling over the top of them. Make sure you have as much of the field cover as possible. Let the other team make the mistakes and capitalize on that.
For sure. Yeah, you know, I think that's the big thing is when you see an opening, when you see some of those mistakes happening, open net, go for the shot. You know, like when you see a side open where you can run that ball across, you want to take that. I think it is just the perceptiveness that you need to have in order to open up some of these opportunities, in order to realize, like, hey, we've got this open part of the arena right now. Let's capitalize off of that. We can get in here. We can make a trade. We can make a pass. That's something that you got to capitalize off of. I think it is just the overall ability to see opportunities open up that I think is going to be so key.
Yeah, the counterattack is been a really big piece of this. In 2v2, one counterattack always is. But when you end up in mismatch situations or any of these things that we've kind of seen so far happen throughout this season and at the MVL level where there's sometimes is that mismatch in skill, it's that back end that continues dramatic. But we're gonna hop into game number one. Rather than us hypothesizing about it, we'll just let the play speak for itself. And Rum very early with the great angle, actually, out of the corner. Just okay. Sure. Go off.
That's a way to open things up, I guess, right? I mean, Rum able to get that first initial goal towards the top side. Great hit in. No opportunity for a defense there from the side of Shakopee. And, well, that's definitely how you start a game off there, Supersonic.
Well, free ball here. Will Yellowbot go? Gonna just touch up. Doesn't get enough of it. That's gonna drop down to Rum. Battle in the midfield. And Rum all over that, actually. Just trying to be a nuisance.
As right now it seems like towards the middle side, it's going to be Rum trying to move this one back over towards that blue side. Going to be difficult in order to do that, though, if the defense is there. But so far, so good. One player towards the goal side. You try to get it along the top. You have the aerial, but it's not the angle for the shot in. It's going to get back down over towards the mid side of the map again. And it seems like right now it is going back and forth. Rum still piloting this ball as much as he can. But he's got to get it away from that orange side a little bit here if he wants to try to get that goal. He's just got to get it towards the mid side so he can line it up. It seems like he might have an opportunity for a shot here. No defense, but at the angles, they got to be right. It's going to end up being Rum trying to pilot this one in his favor.
I am trying to figure out what the other name is. Okay, looked it up. It's Function. I definitely can't read the nameplate that is in the game, but that is going to be Function as that second player with Yellowbot on the side of Chisago Lake.
That is definitely looks like a function. I feel like I'm in math class right now, but we're watching Rocket League.
The higher level math than I ever made it to.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what some of that means in there, honestly. I see a plus or minus, a function symbol, and the rest, no clue. But anyway, it is going to end up being the side of Breadmaster trying to get this one over towards that orange goal. A little bit of boost here. Maybe that can pilot the ball towards the goal for him. And it is just touching the sides constantly. It is difficult for him to get this one in. Right now, though, it's moving back on over towards that orange side. Rum with a great pass onto him, able to make this one move over in his favor again. Possibly the angle, but the third goalie, he's able to get it.
So close. Rum tried to put that one on, was just off, and then Brett just could not get underneath it. And it seems like the ticket to success so far. Ooh, Function almost puts that one away. Yellowbot going to be able to get there and will tie it up. So Chicago Lake going to sneak one in. I was about to say, it really feels like everybody on the pitch kind of about the same when we look at it until Rum clearly mechanically is the most gifted player or the player that's put the most time into their mechanics thus far. Out of everybody on the pitch. But really the counterattack, again, down the field. Had to come back, had to make a tough challenge to try and make the save, and Rum just could not get outside of the ball enough to push that away from the net.
Right. Yeah, I think for me at least, what I'm noticing is just opportunities for both of these teams are abundant, but it's about how you line up the defense in order to prevent those opportunities or how you capitalize off of them if you're the one attacking. Right now, Rum with the dribble on the ball, trying to move this one over towards that orange side. It's going to be Function going for the hit in towards the interception, but it's not going to be enough. As right now, towards the orange side, the ball's getting in a risky territory. Rum still piloting it over, and it seems like right now, Matamida is doing everything they can in order to keep this ball towards that orange side. As Chisago Lake's trying to keep the strong defense, it's going to end up being constantly that goalpost blocking that ball. But so far, at least they're keeping it in that orange territory. You can go for a hit in when you line it up at any point here.
Well, opportunity coming up for Rum Rum. Going to be able to chip that one. Can't get to the ceiling. Breadmaster going to try and turn. Nice air roll at the last second to try and cut it. And it actually makes it just awkward enough for the defender. They can't get there. And it opens a window for Rum Rum to come through and get their second goal. That last second as Breadmaster went up, you could see him kind of air roll to the right and kind of give it that, almost like that front right wheels, that right hand, and just kind of slap the ball down to try and bring that back across from that outside angle.
Mhm.
And that made it just a bit of an awkward read for that defender.
Yeah, for sure. A bit of an awkward read indeed. And well, now we head in towards the next round and the next kick, and it's going to end up being Rum Rum again piloting that ball in his favor. He's got to get it on over towards that orange side, though. Yellowbot now towards the bottom, doing everything he can to try to get another goal in order to tie up the score line. 1 minute left on the game clock now, and Function as well doing a decent job of trying to make this ball go in his favor, but Breadmaster, he's able to get it eventually in his favor. He's running it across, and he's able to find the straight up opening, and he's able to get that ball in. A beautiful goal. And I mean, that is kind of a turn of events you did not expect to see. You saw one of Chisago Lake's players over towards that goal, but no interception possible, and that's how you get a goal in if you're Matomide.
Yeah, I mean, definitely got him to bite on that, right? You could see him kind of cut the ball, carry it out towards that right side, and get the defender to try and bring their momentum away from net, which allows them to then cut back in. Slots it perfectly, so great execution, good handles on the ball, ground control. Rum Rum gonna boost through, looking for the bump, actually catches the back wall, and Function's able to dodge that bump or that demo attempt. Little jam in the corner. Rum Rum now. Touch up. Have to back out of that as Yellow Bottle get a piece. Looking for the second touch. Back flips. I think we would have double jumped there. Could have popped it up. Set it up for the teammate. Function. Doesn't attack quick enough. Rum Rum first up. Able to just box that ball out and send it back the other way.
Yeah, now back on over towards the orange side is the ball. We'll see if Matomide can get a victory lap one in. Not quite, but regardless, they're going to take that first game 3-1, going to 1-0 up in the series here. I'd say that's definitely how you want to start things. How you want to start things off if you're Matomide and Chisago Lakes. You got to find a way to rebound here in the next one.
They had a couple opportunities here and there throughout, but in the end, really, I think that key success has been through Rum, right? Been the first one up, able to make those ceiling touches, kind of isolating defenders for his second man, and been there time and time again with a quick cut where he kind of knows that he's the fastest one on the pitch. So you'll see him make those rotations back and immediately cut back in for both of those goals that he made. One of those ones where you can kind of be a little bit patient, but you've got to recognize who's on ball and who's off ball. I think if Chisago can recognize that, they have an opportunity to then react. But if you don't realize that Bread's the one with the ball when the shot's coming, you can kind of say, "Hey, this one Brett hasn't exactly had like a ton of like heat on his shots. He's putting them in spots that's made it a little awkward and it's allowed Rum to come through. If I wait just a second and give myself that extra beat to try and figure out where this ball is going off of Brett's touch, then I can try and react really quickly at that point and make sure you jump before Rum can come in and make a play on it. If you can do that, Rum's been coming through, that'll open the counterattack because Brett will still be in the air. Rum will come forward and that'll give you the counterattack downfield.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And another thing too is that I feel like the spacing is really good. They have constantly opened themselves up for opportunities, Matomidi, in order to take that ball and pilot it in their favor. Like one team has that ball, or rather one player has that ball, the other one's always ready for that pass. They're always ready for being the next step ahead, quite honestly. And they're really good at making sure that they're planning ahead, thinking ahead, ready to take that ball at any time to move it towards that goal. I just constantly see themselves being open for each other in order to take that ball. Whereas you look on the side of Chisago, and sometimes that's not quite the same thing. You have some players playing dedicated parts of the field, but not quite lining themselves up for the other player in order to make a move over towards the opponent's goal.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things that kind of comes with time and chemistry between the players. I mean, we're still talking, we're real early in the season. As you build this up over time, you'll know the habits better and better of your teammate, where to be, how to best help them. And that's going to take time to build for some players, right? You've got to get that stuff figured out. Um, Not quite built yet, but again, plenty of time in the season.
Yeah, you've got a favor here, hopefully. I mean, It's just going to take more of that chemistry, more of that team building, but we'll see if Chicago Lakes can get that rebound here as we head into game 2, folks. It's going to be an initial ball towards that orange side as Madomidai, I believe, still towards the blue this time around, so it's going to be Chicago Lakes definitely in jeopardy here early on as Rumrummy trying to get this one over in his favor, but so far it seems like right now it is a back and forth on the field.
Jump challenge early, jams it up. Calc should be able to take that off. Another touch, able to get around. Can't get it around function. Actually, a good challenge on the sidewall there, but not able to recover in time to then chase the ball back down. So stops the first play, but again, immediately, well, Rum's not letting anybody. He doesn't care. Teammate, opponent, whoever. It's his ball. Get out of the way, Calc.
Yeah, and what I'll point out here is that sub-in has officially come into play. Breadmaster is out, Kelk is in. We'll see how that happens to maybe manipulate the gameplay here for Madomidai, or possibly open things up for Chisago Lakes. Regardless, I think it's going to end up being a telling round here as to who might pilot the rest of this series. Right now you can see Madomidai doing a decent job of keeping this ball towards their control. I feel like they're moving this thing over towards the orange side, and they're doing it real quick. Function tries to go for the interception. No dice for him just yet. Kelk almost goes for the hit, and a little bit of a miss there. But still, you have opportunities to line this one back up, and it seems like right now, Madomidai in control of this game. I feel like they're usually the ones on the ball, and Kelk, he's able to get that one in. And, you know, I'll point out a little funny thing here. We've got Kelk versus Function right now. I mean, we got the math battle happening on the field right now.
You know, I think if it, you know, if it came down to just the math battle, I'm giving it to Function just purely because, I mean, look at the name. That's got way more math in it than Calc. I mean, Calc didn't even spell Calc properly, you know? Like, but that's unfortunately not what they're competing in right now. So I'm going to have to, right now, it is going the way of the Madomidai guys, and gonna have a shot. It will be pushed well wide. Another one chipped back. Can Calc get up for this one? Last second. Gave it a little too much time. Want to try and get up there early. Just kind of get the outside edge of that ball and then kind of turn your body weight back into the ball and put it back in. You can give yourself a little bit earlier attack on that. Get up challenge quickly. Function. Touchdown. Rum will try to catch. And again, just off the mark. The reverse. Does he got the reverse handles? He has so far. Eventually, though, does lose it.
Yeah, maybe this is the opportunity here for Madomidai to get another goal. It's going to end up being them piloting this one over towards the orange side continuously here. Now, bouncing off the top side, it's like we're playing ping pong with the top of the arena right now. But regardless, it's going to end up being Madomidai still keeping this one over towards orange. So Chisago definitely feeling in jeopardy a little bit right now, but Function trying to pilot this one back over towards that blue side. Rummy, though, always here for the answer, making sure that he sets this one up for a goal, but Function make sure that that is not going to occur. And it seems like right now towards the blue side, Madomidai, the ones in jeopardy. They're going to have to move this one over quick, but it seems like they're doing a good job of doing so.
Yeah, a couple double commits starting to come out on the side of Madomidai. It was uncharacteristic. Not too much of that happened in that first round with Bread, and it seems like Calc and Rum both want to get after this ball time and time again, and again, both push out past that near post, and that's an easy chip over for Yellowbot. Rum's playing the corner. Calc decides to come out, double in behind him in the corner, and then there's just no defender left in net.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, it's completely open, and that's just kind of where you falter a little bit. So it's going to end up being Chisago Lakes getting that one on the board, and I got to say that it's going to be a close one here, possibly. We might start to see this series get tied up if Chisago Lakes are able to continue this with about a minute left on the clock. They just need to get one more to make that scoreline go in their favor. But Rummy, he finds the opening and able to get that aerial shot off, and that is how you line up a goal. You can see it bounce off the side. Rummy sees the perfect angle, knows when to go in for that shot, and it goes right in perfectly. No opportunity for defense.
Well, the opportunity's there, but basically what happened is in that reverse inside of net, as soon as that momentum's going backward, Rum knows that that player hasn't done anything mechanically that indicates to him he's going to be able to do this reverse, like kind of quick takeoff or a double jump aerial while reversing, which is basically the only option to get up for that ball because he was playing near post and having to reverse to get back to it. So at a minimum, you have to tell yourself they're going to be uncomfortable, which makes them awkward in air. I might as well go ahead and make the attempt. Worst case
Oh
scenario, gets pushed to a
no.
corner. Counter attack opportunity here. Easy walk in for Calc. Good touch from Rum over the challenge from Yellowbot. And really, I can't fault Yellowbot. Typically, if we're talking we're 30 seconds into the game, right there, I'm like, you really didn't need to dive for that ball yet. We're at 30 seconds and they're already down one. Really, you're in that mode, like, you've got to make something happen. You don't have time. You've got to execute. So I can't fault Yellowbot for trying to make that play and challenge that ball and keep it in the half or in the offensive half.
For sure. And one other thing too is I just noticed
Oof.
mechanically, like the use of the boost is so good, and that's another example right there where not quite the boost, but regardless, it's just you line it up so well. Yellowbot goes in for the shot, but Kelk is there first. He's just faster. And I guess that maybe it might have been boost use. Like I couldn't quite tell, but regardless, I know that he uses that to his advantage very, very well. And that's an example where that speed is just so important. As now Yellowbot as well towards the middle side of the field, trying to go for a few shots in, but
It's
Mado
open.
Midai
Oh,
piloting this game. Kelk,
oh,
he's not able to
eh.
profit off of the opening just yet, but there he goes around for it again. And well, 5-1 for Mado Midai, and it seems like they're still chugging along well as the train keeps moving, and it seems like they're going to go up 2-0 here in the series.
Well, 5 seconds left. I'm gonna say this one's probably over. Game
Probably.
game two will be coming to an end. I don't believe we can do 5 in second. That one's done. It does go the way of Matamida once again, and really, it's just coming off of those double commits. There's a few too many of them on the side where they're kind of scrambling, scrambling on the side of Chisago Lakes, and unfortunately the calmer team, the calmer heads are prevailing in Matamida. They kind of wait. They see the opportunity. They wait until they see that player kind of be in an awkward situation, and then they just pounce.
Yeah, I think another thing too is like there's just so many instances where Mado Midai is just, as you were saying, they find the way to pounce. They find these openings, and Supersonic, as somebody who has watched this a lot and who knows a lot about Rocket League, I want to ask you, when you look at those openings and you see those openings come through, would you say it's more so a matter of perceiving those openings, noticing those openings, or would you say that Mado Midai are really good at creating those openings, or would you say it might be a bit of both? They're noticing the openings and taking them, and maybe
I,
that's because of Chicago, or
uh,
what might it
uh,
be?
they're uncomfortable. Basically, what's happening is Matamidai has Rum, who's going out and making these jumps, making these aerial touches, basically doing things that aren't necessarily uh, something the other team can pull off. And it comes off of that very first opening play. He did that high side corner in game one, comes down in that opening 7 seconds, tough angle off of a ceiling shot, and really kind of said, like, and set the tone of like, hey, this is the level at which I can perform. You're going to have to step up. And that really puts a little bit of extra pressure on you when the game opens up that way and then somebody pulls off something that you're not necessarily capable of. I'm sure anybody that's played this game has played a ranked match, a casual match, and ran into somebody. Uh, you get into a match and you're just like, how did I get placed in this match with this person? It's one of those things that can kind of psych you out. And I think since then, they've been kind of scrambling defensively. We've had a lot of double commits, situations where they're out of pocket and creates an open net. That second man is playing aggressive rather than kind of playing neutral and waiting for the opportunity to present itself, trying to force opportunities. And they're just kind of 50 through. So Matamida has been doing really well at just kind of waiting and utilizing their tool set when they have it or when the
Yeah,
opportunity presents itself.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, they see the opportunity and they just go for it consistently. I mean, another thing I'll point out too is the aerial work of Matamidai is great. I'm noticing that Chisago is keeping that ball in the ground a lot, whereas Matamidai, they find a way to get it off the side, use that boost, get some of those touches in the air, and that's just how you get those angles in your
Yep.
favor, and you can really, really get those angles into the goal because of that. And well, it's going to be game 3, folks. It's going to be Matomidi trying to close out the series here. Chisago, they are in the back foot. They are in the corner. They got to pull off a reverse sweep to win this one. Matomidi trying to get their first match off of this season. And well, Breadmaster, he's back in now for Rumi, actually, I believe, for Rummy. And that's definitely going to be an interesting change again here for Matomidi. We'll see how that one goes, but regardless, they're able to get a first goal off there real quick, and that's how you start things off here in Game 3.
There's also been a bit of a change-up on the other side of the pitch. They have swapped cars, so Yellowbot is no longer rocking the van. Function is, and so, you know, you're going to change up players. We're at least going to swap cars. Seems to be the answer. Doesn't seem to be the answer this far for the scoreboard, but the change-up coming out on both sides.
For sure. And, you know, what I get kind of curious about, Supersonic, and maybe you can enlighten me here, is the cars in general, right? What kind of impact does that have? Of course, there's hitbox, right? But how much of an impact does it really have?
Hitbox is really the only thing, right? The turn radius, speed, etc. of all the cars, that's all the same. Size of the car alters a little bit, and then the hitbox is, well, it alters with the hitbox. Some of them are a bit chippier, a little bit bigger, like boxier. So some people like the kind of like wide, flat cars because they like to go up, get their 50s, or have a lot of power in their flick, so they've got a bigger base to carry the ball around on. Breadmaster going to score one now on an awkward defense. Up 3-0 now is Matomidi, but really it's personal preference. Different players have different play styles, and some of these hitboxes are going to lean into others better than others. A lot of people also have placebo effect, right? The Octane feels faster, even though if you go side by side, it's going the same speed as everything else. The Octane just feels faster to a lot of players, so they'll use it. At the end, personal preference, though. Whatever you're comfortable on.
Whatever it may be, it seems like the cars are effective for Matomidi, as it seems like they're definitely trying to win this one right here. Up 3-0 already with only 3.5 minutes. At least for them, that feels like a lot. Chisago, they're going to have to take any opportunity they can get. Breadmaster now, another shot into the goal, but that third goalie always comes in clutch. It's that goal post able to block that one, and now Function over towards the blue side. This could be an opening, but no, it does not get lined up properly. And Yellowbot's not able to get the shot in. Now Matomidi over towards this orange side again. It could be an open goal. The defense isn't there to intercept it well enough. And Kelk, that's another good goal for him. 4-0 up now for Matomidi.
And he gets it to that back side, right? Function's sitting mid-net. He's facing near post. So Calc cuts the ball out into the midfield, which means that now he's going to run around to that back shoulder, and that's going to forward up. There's a goal for Breadmaster. That's 5-0. But on the previous goal, you know, putting him and isolating him in that situation where he's stuck there allows that opening on the backside, and then he's able to just kind of cut that ball back in and run it in on the back shoulder. Makes it real hard for Function to get a piece of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you specified that correctly, like perfectly there. You know, you just have that lineup again that we were talking about where his teammate's able to get that ball headed towards the goal, and then he's there for that little correction, just make sure it goes in. And well, it's that's definitely an example of the teamwork of Matomidi. We'll see how that continues. They are up 5-0 right now. Chisago, they've got a task on their hands. Kelko, the angle's not quite there, not able to get it in just yet. Yellowbot now trying to rush this one over towards the blue side. If you're fast enough, you might be able to get it in, but no, Breadmaster, of course, with the interception when it needs to happen. And well, Matomidi again with ball control.
Out. Not quite the touch he's looking for on that takeoff. Will be all right as Breadmaster bails him out. Chip up. It should roll down. Calc up early. Almost misses that, but is able to get it just underneath that crossbar, which pushes it through. So gets it at the earliest he possibly could. And actually, I don't think he intended to get it that quick. It looks like Function may have bumped him as he was taking off, which pushed him into that ball a little bit earlier than intended.
I mean, look how Bread sets that one up. He just rides the wall right there, gets it in front of the goal. Kelk's already there, ready to go. You can see the communication is in, and he's able to get that one in. And as you said, it was a close one, but it was a successful one indeed. And well, now it seems like Chisago trying to do anything they can to get back in this game, but you got a little bit less than 2 minutes to work with, and it is not looking good for them. Breadmaster now trying to line it up for another shot into the goal here. It could be another good one. Kelk with it going in again. It was a slow ball, but it goes in the end, and Kelk, that's another clean goal set up by Breadmaster. Perfect teamwork right here that we're seeing.
Yeah, nice little chip, a nice little just kind of like a head tap there, bounces it up just over the defender with a single jump. And that's really something too that is minor differences that you'll realize as people get more comfortable in their cars and higher skill ceilings, knowing to use that single jump rather than that double jump, right? He just wants to soft touch it, make it as easy as possible for Calc to finish that one off. There's a lot of players out there that may actually double jump into that, and that ball just gets skied up into the ceiling, and you've basically kind of taken your player out of you've taken everybody that's right there under the net out of the play because it becomes that awful camera angle. The 7-1 scoreline comes through. Brazil on the board. Typically, the person trying to score that for the Brazil is usually the person going for the 7th goal. But in the end, either way, Brazil scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely still a difficult one to come back from if you're Chisago, right? You're down 1-7, you got 6 in order to tie it up, and well, Mato Midai completely in the driver's seat of this one, quite literally, as Breadmaster now trying to move this one back on over towards the orange side, possibly just another victory lap goal. Breadmaster for another 8-1 here for Mato Midai, and they just keep finding openings.
101 on the board, and it feels like it's a 101 class here.
Yeah, 101 Rocket League here for Mato Midai. They are teaching right now, and Chisago Lakes, they are being schooled.
This Professor Breadmaster?
Exactly, Professor Breadmaster is in, but Chisago Lakes, this is definitely a learning match, right? Like, it's not wrong that they are going to look back on this one and have a lot that they can take from it.
The fake!
Oh, the fake could have been possible there, but it's the interception coming in from Mato Midai, and well, Kelk rushing this one across very quickly. The bounce comes through, though, and he's not able to get it. This could be an opportunity here for Chisago Lakes to move it back on over towards that blue side, maybe line it up for a goal here. Definitely not an easy task, though, as Mato Midai, they're there for the defense very rapidly.
Touch corner. That one's going to be high and off the mark. Function looks for a touch there. Has the right idea. Actually had the right flip. Just didn't have the boost forward to make the touch. That actually would have been a nice shot. Had he had the boost, it would have just actually pushed it down the sideline behind the defender. And if he had enough boost, could have chased it down possibly and cut it back in. But in the end, this will come to an end. Mato Midai going to get on the board. They were the ones coming in 0-2, right? Looking for a W. Let me go back up. Yeah, 0-2. So now 1-2 on the season. Chisago 1-2 on the season. Chisago Lakes going to be 1-3.
Yep, 1-3 now for Chisago Lakes, and that's where you start to really kind of build a hole that you have to dig yourself out, or rather build yourself out of, rather. You don't want to dig it further. But I think, honestly, that Chisago Lakes right here, this is a teaching moment. You've been on stream, you can go back, you can review the VOD, maybe figure out how your comms were in certain situations, and hey, you can come back stronger next time around. And if you're Mato Midai, this is definitely a good point for you to be at now. You got one on the board, and you can move forward stronger. Definitely a lot of sub-ins for the Mato Midai side. We'll see how that kind of goes in their future matches, but it seemed like it was successful this time around.
It seems like they're playing I wonder what the conversation is at the level with the players or the esports level. However, they've structured that because it seems more like they were going for everybody gets to play the same amount of games, and they just made the rotation. So they figured every single time we'll swap, and it's a new pairing. They actually rotated in, and they ran all 3 possibilities there. So that just seems like one of those ones where they're trying to run a 3-man squad for 2s and say, hey, we don't really have a sub. We've got 3 players.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe they were trying to see which strategy worked the best. Like right there at the end, you could see that combination. That was really dominant. Maybe that means that's what they want to do moving forward, is work with those 2 players primarily. We'll have to see. But regardless, folks, do not go anywhere. We've got some more amazing Rocket League action headed your way right after this break. go, beautiful Mnvl viewers. Thank you for being patient while we go on that quick break. We've got a banger matchup for you guys. Check this out. Apple Valley versus Burnsville. This is a good one. Both teams 3-0 right now, but I've got another shout out besides both of these teams. Up in the top left here, let's see if the arrow went in the right way. Nope, other way. But there it is. It's version 1. Version 1 Rocker, they're a sponsor of the Minnesota Varsity League. They allow the players to play for free here. You can see Supersonic got the merch. I don't have the Rocker version 1 stuff on right now, but I got the Rocker poster up here. But they've got so much cool stuff going on. They got Visionaries for women in esports. They've got the Rocker Home series where they're bringing out the London Royal Ravens, I believe. LAG, Mutineers, Boston Breach to play live on LAN. That's coming up. You can sign up on the version 1 website. All kinds of cool stuff coming up. Hey, they won Rocket League, right? They won the recent major. I mean, it's just
They took
unbelievable
down a
stuff.
regional. We're not at the major
A
quite yet.
regional.
They won regional number 2. They just took top 8 to secure their spot in the major in Rotterdam in December. So
Gotcha.
V1 guys will be making their way out to Rotterdam to play in that EU major here very, very soon.
Awesome. Great stuff out of version 1, of course. Make sure to check them out. But back to the match at hand. Burnsville, Apple Valley. Both teams, as I said, 3-0 right now. One of them's going to take their first L of the season right here. This is going to be a spicy one, Supersonic.
Yeah, this will be a good one. This is one of those ones where, I've said it before, Dorka is on my my MNCS league team. So this is one of those ones where, he wins, I praise him. He loses, I'll make sure he doesn't hear the end of it in the Discord chat. So I'll be coming for him. We'll see how they do though. No bias in the cast, but shout out to my teammate. Got to give him a little bit of love. Apple Valley though, Burnsville, both 3-0. This is one of those matchups. Absolutely, this is the one my eye is on for the day. 2 3-0 teams going at it. You're going to get a good series, or you're going to know that you're at least going to get to see somebody. If it's not a good series, you're going to have to see somebody go off to at least kind of outplay that other team. So either way, we're going to get something exciting.
For sure, and I'm looking at Kiro on the side of Apple Valley. He's always been super consistent as well. We'll see how he does in this matchup, but regardless, we have two teams that are very, very fiery right now. Both heating up for sure as the season continues, and one of them is going to take a setback right now today. So that is definitely what the storyline is here. You gotta be consistent if you're either of these teams. You could go 4-0, which would be massive to have that kind of lead going at the point that we're in the season. Just a massive, massive advantage there. Matchup.
Yeah, this is definitely what they want to do. Kuro versus Dorka on the opening kickoff, and Homer up immediately. Doesn't get a good touch, though. He can't follow through on that touch, kind of swinging the body around. The ball got too much of him. Keen's able to get to the outside edge of Kuro, put him on the back foot, and sneaks around for the opening goal.
Unbelievable goal right there. Finds that opening. Kiro tries to go in for the interception there, but no dice for him. That is how you open things up, and well, it seems like right now to me that this one is going to end up being a competitive one, as we were talking about before. Towards the mid side, though, the ball quickly gets piloted over towards blue. Matamidai and Shisago are on the top side right now, so we'll have to make sure we get that fixed. But regardless, I believe right now it is the side of Burnsville on that blue, so we're going to make sure that we keep that consistency, but it is going to end up being Burnsville with that ball dangerously close to their goal. However, it's going to end up being them trying to pilot this one back on over towards the orange side. Homer as well going to maybe try to move this one back over towards the blue, and right now the pendulum just keeps swinging.
It's a little bit of back and forth as Kuro and Homer are just waiting to see if Dorka's ever going to go away, but both of them kind of were frozen there for a second as well. A little dangerous. Kuro, good turn. Read on the ball, forces Dorka back, and then the whiff from Homer is going to open the net. Dorka taking his time, though. Doesn't have the boost. Dorka was sitting in net so long that he never actually got any boost off of any pads. He was just kind of hanging out. So what could have been a runaway goal amounts to nothing. Still a 1-0 lead here, though, for the side of Burnsville. Ken's going to make that wide rotation out into the corner. An open net situation was there. Kuro not in position to make a play on it. Kins up. Can he finish? There's the touch and in. 2-0 now for Burnsville.
Yeah, Burnsville looking to pilot this one and, you know, try to get that 4-0 here advantage within the season, as you could just see Dorka as well with the shot from above. The aerial is amazing right there. It's definitely how you line one up, and Apple Valley, they just weren't there for the defense. We'll see how they decide to rebound this time around. Now ball towards the mid side. It's going to be Homer as well towards the top as well, trying to move this one over towards that blue goal, but a quick defense coming out of Burnsville. And it looks like this ball just continues to go back and forth over towards that orange side. Again, it gets dangerously close, and it gets dangerous here for Apple Valley as they are down 3-0 here. 3 minutes left to work with, though. You can make a comeback, but look at the shots coming in from Dorka. That's how you line things up well.
Yeah, tough shot there, too. Tough angle on the double. Gets to that outside corner, then gets to the outside edge of the ball. Is able to tip it back in, and Dorka kind of taking his time there on the kickoff, going for the corner boost. He kind of slow drives and then goes for the wave dash to get to the corner rather than doing the traditional kind of, typically that person, if you're going to go to that back corner, you'll see them just burn boost immediately and speed flip to the corner so they can rotate that momentum back around. A little lackadaisical in the takeoff on that kickoff, and then, you know what?
Ooh, it could just roll in, yeah.
Pretend that other one didn't even happen, because who cares? Kins is just going to win a 50 here, and it's just going to roll in off of Homer.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a blunder maybe from Apple Valley there. He kind of touches it, and then the angle just starts going towards the goal there. So maybe a little bit counterintuitive to what he actually wanted to happen, and it just rolls right in as we saw. But now 4-1 lead here for the side of Burnsville. It's going to end up being them trying to pilot this one continuously for the rest of the game here. As Kins as well, great touches from the flip reset as well, now towards the top side. And now back on over towards that orange side is going to be the ball, but he quickly moves it back on over towards blue as Kiro pilots that one. It's going to be Homer as well trying to find the momentum here, but so far so good here for Burnsville as they do continue to have control of the ball. Dorka towards the top side, able to make sure that this one goes in his favor.
Gets a good piece of the ball, tries to put it downfield, and just enough that Homer cannot get underneath it enough to push it high or to the side. Sneaky amount of power there as Dorka hit that ball perfectly, got underneath it to just put that extra downfield oomph.
For sure, and well, it seems like right now Burnsville definitely looking to close out this game number one, and Apple Valley on the struggle bus a little bit. It's going to be Dorka with good shots from the ball, as he can maybe move this one back on over towards that orange side. Oh, this could be the opportunity in order to get that next goal, but look at the momentum coming in over towards the blue goal here.
There we go.
It's the goal post able to block it, but Kiro, regardless, able to get that score off eventually. That's going to be 2 for Apple Valley here eventually, but Burnsville still in the driver's seat, of course.
Yeah, good patience there, good, just really kind of holding it together there from Kuro at the end. You can hear the player coming down, breathing down his neck, coming in for the demo. Stays calm and collected, puts the shot on net. That's definitely one of those high-pressure ones that in those moments, you got to clutch up and ice up in those moments. Does just that, able to score it. Still got a little bit of work to do here as they are down by 3. Kuro going to try and 50 through Dorka. It actually bounces well for Homer. Takes his time. Looks like he tries to kind of bait Kins in. Looks for the bump on him. Just misses. Downfield.
Ball continues to move downfield here, and it looks like Dorka could maybe find the opportunity here for yet another goal. We'll see if he's able to find that opening. Now towards the top side is the ball. It's Dorka lining it up, getting it in, and well, that is how you get a good one on the board for a 6-2 lead. My goodness, it goes right up top. Dorka able to smash that ball right into the goal. And well, that is definitely, as I said, a piloting goal right there in order to make that lead continue to be harder and harder to come back from with 1 minute 20 seconds left here for Apple Valley.
Big bump, going to send Kuro downfield. Homer will come in to fill that gap on the sidewall. Dorka, ceiling for himself, has that touch, gets it around, and just... Oof. Dorka's doing Dorka things.
Yeah, this guy's putting in work. You can just see him propel this ball so quickly towards the top. No way to intercept it if you're any of the players from Apple Valley, and he just carries that ball with his non-existent car hands into the goal.
the double, the triple, the quadruple, quintuple. I mean, however many touches you need, that's the number that Dork is going to give it, and then
All
one
right.
extra for the heck of it. Kin's now going to score another one here, and Burnsville trying to basically make a statement that not all 3-0 teams are built the same.
Yeah, I mean, just add a little bit of an extra spice onto the top, I guess, honestly. Like, just, sprinkle it on. Maybe a few more goals. We'll see if Burnsville's able to get a few more within the last few minutes here, or rather the last minute. As it seems like right now, this is just their game, and they are playing their game so well. You can just see it in the way that Dorka lines some of these shots up, and as well, I mean, Kins, he's got good teamwork in. I mean, Supersonic. I don't know what you think, but I feel like the teamwork here is really, really what's making Burnsville successful, as well as some big star plays out of Dorka.
Yeah, I mean, the teamwork's there. It's definitely the individual play, right? It's been a
Yep.
lot of Dorka doing a lot of work, but Kins comes through, is able to finish multiple times, and as you can see, has all of the mechanics himself as well. They've gone for a couple of, I think once or twice already, where they kind of go to the ceiling. Dorka tries to do the setup. I think there's a little more faith in Dorka putting the ball where they wanted to set those up. Kins is usually the one trying to do that finish, but like the mechanics are at a
Oh.
level that we're not really seeing a lot of teams reach with a single player. Burnsville's a team that's got two guys that just are on another level in the MNVL.
Yeah, I mean, it's Burnsville's world, and Apple Valley are just living in it, honestly. They are 9-2 right now. I have to say, this is not what I expected. I thought this one was going to be a lot closer, but alas, you can see it on the scoreline. Ball about to touch that ground here in Burnsville with a dominant game to open this one up, and to me, this is just an indication of how the rest of this series might go. Apple Valley is in jeopardy right now.
And finally does touch down Burnsville with a dominant first game win. And we can really see the change of pace too, just how the game is playing out, period, between the first series that we did of the day, first series that we did of the day, now coming into this second series of the day. The first game, very grounded, ball playing at a specific level, unless Rum was kind of going up and did a couple ceiling touches early, but really wasn't consistent in that. Here we can see just one ball possession time. Dorka constantly playing just to see how many times he can get them to challenge him and just try and win 50s. He's not necessarily trying to win a 50, shoot the ball down the field. He's just trying to get you to challenge him so that he can win, dead stop the ball, you go by, and how many people can he pull out of position and then either run it down himself or feed it out into the open field after that, let Kins just make a runaway. It's been close, though. Apple Valley's done some really good recoveries, and it's been neck and neck racing down the field side by side with Kins on a lot of those, but he's just ever so slightly quicker. He's been able to just sneak it around a couple times. There's a few of those that really could have gone either way.
I mean, one thing I also noticed too is the way that Dorka uses some of that aerial capability is insane. Like, this guy will
Uh,
fly across the arena carrying the ball with him
yep.
and just punch it into the goal. It's unbelievable, some of the mechanical capability that Dorka has right there.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts to watch that kind of go down and see him pull those plays off, right? It's not just that, it's the spatial awareness period of what's going on, right? A lot of guys are playing up and they're saying, okay, I'm going to chip up. I'm looking to do an air dribble, etc. He's utilizing everything. He went up on the one play, said, I'm going to go up. I got to beat one player. Players in front of me going to challenge me. A lot of players are going to try and 50 through. Says I can play it around. Goes for the ceiling up, catch on the low side, and then that extra touch that he did at the end because he then recognizes that the defender's below him still. So he needs to offset. And he's deciding to make that last touch after he hears that person jump. He's listening for that audio cue, or based on his angle, he may have been able to see them. But after they leave the ground, then he decides to make that correct at that point. So it's also just knowing when to utilize some of those movements and those abilities. Kin's going to try and get this one, just sneaks it under the bar off the bounce shot.
Yeah, just sneaking it under, and well, you can see Dorka definitely doing a good job of helping to line things up, but regardless, that's all Kins right there, able to get that goal off, and well, now it seems like we start off in towards the next round, and I don't know if he had this before, but Dorka but cute is his username now. I mean, he's just going back and forth maybe. But regardless, I think it is going to end up being Burnsville trying to pilot this one again.
Yeah, a bunch of cute little cheeky touches for sure. Dorka gonna dodge Homer, gets away. We'll have another touch. Has boost in the tank still, in the 50. Or not the 50, but the pinch comes through, and Kid's able to hunt that one down. That is a tough read on that speed to have to try and get there. You see him immediately after that comes off the hood of his car and rockets off.
Oh,
the
man.
very first thing you see him do before it even hits the walls, he knows that it's going fast, and he's got to find a way to give himself that extra second to read that. You immediately see him hard turn right and cut out to give himself that time to wait for the rebound to come back to him rather than try to chase that down and force himself into a really, really tough read. He gives himself the best possible read he can get. 50's through on the flip reset as well here. You know what? Dorka, step up. You're letting your man do everything.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Kids is just finding all of these openings and then punching them through towards the goal. Burnsville being dominant right now, but Dorka, he decided to take a back seat. He said, Kins, you know, you take the lead on this one. You take the reins, and, well, he seems to be doing a good job of that.
I don't know if that was a conversation. These shots have looked like Kins says, no, I don't care if you want the ball, Dorka. These are mine. I don't know if there was an agreement there. It feels much more like Kins has just said, this is my game. Please get out of the way. As he bumps some players out of the way. Will not come off the ball. Is he just going to bully his way through? No, Homer able to cut it off in the end.
Yeah, I don't know what I just saw right there. That was kind of funny. He just sat there and moved the ball in different directions in one spot, but it is going to be Kiro as well. Man, I think that might have been a personal score. We'll see. Dorka able to get shots off. Oh, wait, never mind. It wasn't. The angle made it look kind of weird. I thought Kiro hit that one in for a second. I don't know what that was about, but Dorka, he was able to get that one, and hey, he gets one on the board, Supersonics. Maybe Ken's a little bit salty about that one. Oh, a demo comes through. Homer going to get taken.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think Kids is probably laughing right now. That ended up being a pool shot. He hit Dorka into that ball is what the weird read was. Is he got bumped into it and then ended up chipping it because of that bump. Got it through before the defender was able to get there and get a touch. So he's got to be laughing. In the end, that's still a Kins goal. All right, I'm still giving that one to him. Kins has scored all 4 goals so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that was like a mainly Kins goal, right?
Yeah,
we'll call it that. Yeah, but Dorka,
the scoreboard lies sometimes.
It does. Sometimes it fibs to you a little bit, but regardless, it's going to be more goals maybe going for the side of Burnsville here as they continue to pilot things, but Dorka as well keeping this one in control, able to push it towards the mid side, Apple Valley for the defense. Maybe Kiro could line it up right here. Nope, it gets intercepted by Kins, and he's trying to go for another one. He's trying to make Dorka laugh right now, trying to find the next one, and Dorka, though, he's able to pick it up in the end, and I think we have a little bit of inter-Burnsville competition here. Who can get more goals? Dorka just carrying that one into the goal again. That's what we were talking about before. He is so good at that. And now 5-0 for Burnsville over Apple Valley. And Apple Valley, you are in a difficult spot right now as the dominoes are just not lining up in your favor, and they just continue to fall to Burnsville right now.
Yeah, you can still tell the comfortability from Dorka knowing that him and Kins are faster on the pitch, so a lot of times they're leaving open nets, and you'll see both of them actually play each post, where typically you see somebody kind of play the backboard, somebody play one of the posts, make sure that you're kind of covering as much of the net. They kind of leave it open and allow a shot to come through, knowing that they're probably going to come high, and then they just jump first off of the read. They put themselves just in a good spot to read the touch, and honestly are able to just kind of run away with it again and again on the offensive side. Kuro touchdown. Kins will wait for that one. Good bump there from Kuro, but unfortunately, it's not set up in time. That's that one that Homer would have had to execute on very quickly. Flip reset, gonna be wide. Dorka can't put that one on target.
Yeah, the thing too for me is like, I just feel like this Burnsville intercompetition that we were talking about before is only benefiting them. They're like, let's see who can get more goals. And I think that's just propelling them in order to play even more aggressive and continue to get some of these goals that maybe they wouldn't have gotten if they were trying to play a little bit more reserved. I think they do feel freed right now. They're like, yeah, I think we can win against these guys. Let's see how many goals we can get. That might be part of the mentality here a little bit, as Dorka now moving this one back on over towards that orange side. Apple Valley again in jeopardy of possibly getting scored on. Kins definitely doing a good flip reset right there in order to get that ball going in his favor. Dorka now towards the top side. The goalpost definitely is your worst enemy in that one. And, well, it seems like Dorka and Kins still just trying to make this one go in their favor. I think with 40 seconds left and Apple Valley having to get 5 in that time span, it could be a difficult one. Another great defense out of Burnsville. Wow.
Quick run down the field, immediate counterattack as soon as that one gets blocked out. But, I mean, really at this point, you just have to full send, right? You've got to send the offense. It hasn't worked thus far. But the defense, the shadow play, and then waiting for the shadowing and then waiting for mistakes to happen and then capitalizing on them has just been too good out of the Burnsville side. It's been a bit much for Apple Valley to deal with.
Yeah, I think overall, like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to ask you, Supersonic, would you say that this is just aggression out of Burnsville? I mean, look at that. Dorka.
No.
Perfect piloting that ball into the goal.
To be completely honest, I would say based on knowing what they're capable of and what they're doing, they're playing still relatively controlled. Relatively neutral play. They're utilizing their mechanics in the offensive attack, but if you watch them defensively, they don't really double over the top of each other. Look, Dorka's allowed first because there's too much space given. Kin's going to jump up early, and they're going to try and do something fancy. But if you look at the spacing, they don't ever encroach upon each other. You have to kind of imagine this like almost a balloon kind of blowing up off of the side of the car, the back of the car, right? And as a player's skill level gets better, that balloon represents the amount of space that player can cover, right? It's how far, if the ball gets X distance ahead of me, what distance can I cover? Distance above me, how quickly can my player get off the ground and cover? And you have to have this idea of your team of what you can cover. And right now, they're on Burnsville is like out here, right? It's off the screen. So they give each other a ton of space to work. So if something goes wrong, that other player has so much time to wait to go ahead and read that then they're going to end up with the ball each time regardless. They have so much confidence in their front man that they're able to just let them work. So I'd say they're playing pretty reserved. I don't think they're being over aggressive at all, other than the fact that here at the end, once they got up a few goals, they decided to see if they could set up some like little freestyle duo plays. Right. But that's not necessarily aggression. That's just trying to style really, I'm trying to watch what they're doing defensively, and defensively, they're just executing to perfection. They're just waiting, always somebody at net or somebody back, and there's always somebody there to challenge in the midfield. Their midfield play is really solid.
I mean, I'm just seeing myriad examples where Burnsville's doing exactly what you were just talking about. They're setting up the field in their favor, and they're doing such a good job of it. They are making that space. They're making the time to, like, Valley, register it in their head, communicate it. Here's what our plan is to adapt to that. And they do that every time around. And that is what leads to their success. Apple Valley now on the brink of taking their first L of the season in Burnsville, trying to get that 4-0 buff. We'll see if they're able to do so, or if Apple Valley can muster up something within them to make the reverse sweep. But Burnsville in the driver's seat of this one, trying to make this one go in their favor. Kiro now towards the top side, trying to find anything he can, treading this ball along. Shots into one, but it's not going to be enough just yet. He's going to get a little bit of a, I couldn't quite tell if that was a demo right there or not. It looked a bit fast, but regardless, Homer now with the ball. It's going to end up being Apple Valley in jeopardy continuously here.
Nice little touch on the travel in the opposite direction there from Dorka. Kuro ends up putting one off the sidewall. I think Dorka was originally trying to send it back, thinking Kins was going to be back. So it's a nice touch in the sense that he got up and made the touch, but Kins was not where he thought he was, so it almost ended up being a goal from Kuro the other way. Double commit through as both try to finish that ball on the side of Burnsville. That'll give Kuro a round one. Can't get past the second. Right there, Homer had the direction was going, and he ends up turning off, panicked that Dorka was going to win that 50 through, and it actually dropped to midfield perfectly for him. So Kuro had pulled the first man out of position. Second man comes forward. He gets the 50 to where it's a dead drop in midfield. Both players from Burnsville are out on that left side of the pitch, or I guess would have been Orange side's right side of the pitch, in an open lane down the middle, but Homer was a bit too hesitant to capitalize and go in and try and attack that play.
I mean, also I noticed like on the defense here for Burnsville is that like what we were talking about before, those openings that we're seeing and making those openings for themselves is so prominent here in the gameplay. Dorka always is ready for that defense when it needs to happen, but they also know when they need to push up, when they need to go for that goal. And so far though, 0-0 on the scoreboard right now as game clock continues to tick down. It's going to end up being Burnsville trying to get the first goal. Apple Valley maybe to pilot it in their favor, though, to get the first one. Homer as well, now towards the back, over towards Blue, trying to get this one going in his favor towards that blue goal. But so far, Dorka is just carrying this ball. The third goalie comes in clutch, though, and it's going to be a save there for the side of Apple Valley. And Burnsville, they are having trouble getting the ball in there, but regardless, they go again.
Yeah, if you're a team, it's something that I just noticed Kins was doing on that attack downfield where he was ahead of the play. He doesn't see a player to demo, but he's watching and he was trying to find somebody to attack. Dorka can't slot that one in. So he's ahead of Kuro. He knows that Kuro's behind him, chasing him back down. He's looking for Homer, but in the meantime, until he finds him, what he was actually doing was covering the inside, the secondary lane of boost, the diagonal one that's just inside from the outside wall, knowing that that's the fastest route back and that he had just taken the corner boost. So he knows the guy behind him needs to get boost pad. So what does he do? He takes the line of boost that is the quickest line back to the net. Dorka going to score this one. They hold him to 1 for 3 minutes. So good defensive efforts here from the side of Apple Valley. But in the end, not quite enough, and it's a lot of the little. It's not just the aerial play. It's not just the challenge game. It's little things that people don't think of. That little taking that boost line and just starving all the way down. A lot of times a player goes, "We got a 2-on-1. I'm good." He's saying, "No, we may not score. Right? What's the best situation for me to set my teammate up and set us up for if something goes wrong here? Well, I'm going to starve them all the way down the field." It's just really smart play.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredibly smart play coming here. And, you know, this is definitely like a slower game as well, I've noticed. Like, we're not seeing as many goals. Burnsville does have 1 on the board right now, but Apple Valley trying to find a way to tie this one up. But regardless, Burnsville, like, they're playing safe here. They're just knowing that, hey, we can win it off of this. And, well, as I say that, speak of the devil, Kim's able to get another one. Now you're up 2-0 if you're Burnsville, and things continue to go in your favor here as Kiro as well goes for the block, but the speed not there. Not able to get there in time to make that ball go away from that goal. Now it seems like Burnsville doing a decent job of making sure that they close this game out here.
Up early, Dorka to the ceiling. Ken's actually coming from the ceiling already as well. They really seem to want one of those, but they'll take just a basic chip in here from Dorka, or a little touch in front of the net is the defense goes by. Homer actually turns, I think, expecting that ball to go a little bit further across the net. He actually turned back up the sidewall rather than actually coming across the net, and that ends up kind of dead stopping his momentum as he hit the post. Homer,
for sure. Well, now it seems like right now, with a minute left on the clock, Apple Valley, like, you have the possibility of getting 3 goals here, but it's not going to be an easy task. Burnsville now just trying to play it safe, close it out. Maybe another one on the board as well for the victory lap, but regardless, it looks like they're going to be going 4-0 here in the season if Apple Valley can't get 3 in the last 36 seconds here. As it seems like right now, Kins as well trying to move this ball over towards that orange side. Good interception there from Kiro in order to save it towards the middle. Now it seems like it's going to end up being Kiro trying to pilot it over towards the blue side. Maybe an opportunity to get it in, but 2 unfortunate blocks by the goal. And that is just a devastating situation right there. Apple Valley, you could have gotten it in, and you continue to take shots, but they do not go in. Burnsville just getting all the cards to get played in their favor right now.
Another one chipped in front of the net in the final moments. Homer going to save this one out for the corner. Kens doesn't want to let it die. He wants to respect the rules. And down it goes. Burnsville 3-0 on the day as they take down Apple Valley.
3-0 there. I mean, I gotta tell you, Supersonic, that is not something that I was expecting whatsoever. I thought this was gonna be a tight competitive match, but then I forgot. Burnsville has Dorka. So,
I can't say
yeah,
just Dorka at this point. I think it's Kens is showing up so much.
that's
You
true.
know, we've been talking Dorka up, and look, yeah, Dorka, I love you and all, but you know, Kens is putting in a ton of work out there.
He
He's
really
doing a
is.
lot of work. He's doing a lot of his 50s. It is definitely a two-man team. It is not just the Dorka show over there at Burnsville.
For sure, two-man team indeed. And well, Burnsville 4-0 in the season. Apple Valley gonna have to take a setback here. And well, folks, we've got one more game for you coming right up. So stay where you are, grab a snack for the last one here, and we'll be right back for another great game. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Minnesota Varsity League. We have an interesting matchup here. You can see it on both sides of your screen. We've got the inter-school battle, Rogers Blue versus Rogers Black. So, what I can say is Rogers is going to win this series. However, is it blue or is it black? We'll have to see. Supersonic?
Somebody is going to be leaving black and blue at the end of this one. You know, I'm sorry, I had to. Chad, I'm sorry, I had to do it. It's yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Both of them are 2-1 of the season. I know one of them played against the squad that we just watched with that dominant win. We did see one of the teams. I want to say, was it Rogers Blue that took the loss to?
It might have been.
Rogers Black took the loss to, is that Egan? Yeah, they took the loss last week to Egan, going up against Flo and his teammate, and then Rogers Blue coming in on their loss. They're the ones that played Burnsville, so they took that 3-0 loss to Burnsville. So both losses on these teams coming to teams that are very high level teams, right? And they weren't exactly just straight blowouts. Like, they were close games in those series, or at least had moments that they were. So this is going to be this will probably be some pretty good games. Also, it's going to be two teams that I'm going to imagine they've probably scrimmed each other a few times. So I'm going to guess that they probably know each other pretty well.
Probably, yeah. I think when you look at a Rogers versus Rogers matchup, they probably know each other well, right? Yeah.
The Confusion Bowl. That is the name of this game. I apologize, chat, when I say that Rogers saves the ball from Rogers to take the counterattack down to Rogers, and then Rogers.
Yeah, we'll see how we do here, but I think we'll probably just say blue and black. But regardless, it is going to be this is an interesting matchup for a couple of reasons, of course. First, an inter-school battle matchup like this, but regardless, it's going to be Rogers Blue, thankfully, on the blue side, and Rogers Black on the red side or orange side. So
no, blue is actually part of Rogers Black, who's playing on the blue side. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Or blue. This is Rogers. We gotta have some conversations about this. This is. I'm confused already. So I'm positive that we're probably confusing the viewers with this one. But this is gonna be a battle. We will do our best to keep this trying to make sense.
Yeah, from what I'm making sense of it right now, Rogers
be able to finish that.
Yeah, blue. Okay, black able to get a score onto blue. There we go. That's
the
how
nose
it goes.
Of blue.
Ren is Ren. The blue for playing for black is able to get a score onto Rogers Blue, and well, I gotta say that's a great score coming out of him right there to kick things off here for the black side.
But we need to rename blue on Rogers Black at the moment to blue. Blue is going to blue will not be needed in this one, as Ren's actually going to score that one. Rogers Black on the board once again here, leading their second team by 2 now.
Yeah, Rogers Black definitely looking to start this one off strong, and well, you can see it in the way that the teamwork looks good, I have to say. You see some of these players definitely doing a decent job of making sure that ball is staying away from their side. Rogers Blue right now trying to find a way to get the defense in. Black, though, goes for a score in. It's not going to be a shot, though, just yet. That's a successful one. It's going to be Yumo now towards the top side. Stinger, though, for the interception. It's going to be that orange side looking to get vacant here. But the top side of the goal is going to be a hit off, and that's going to be a save here for this black side, I believe, or rather for the blue side, as now black trying to get this score in towards that blue side still. It's going to be blue, though, making sure that ball stays on over towards orange. They could get a score in here soon, but the goalie work is good coming out of Rogers Black.
Shot from blue on the mark. Ren tries to get in there to finish. Can't get a piece of it before it does cross the line. So blue scores for black once again. Blue's actually black and blue.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that's going to be a score for black there. So 3-0 here as blue scores for black against blue. So it's going to be a 3-0 score line for black. And, well, you can see the way that black are playing is definitely looking good here in this matchup. They're trying to get this first game under their belt.
Open
So
net.
now it seems like another possibly close goal. And, yep, as you said it, open net. Blue for black, able to get another goal. And, well, that's going to be black being 4-0 up right now in the game.
Ren, that's so mean. Bumps the first defender in the corner, then goes up across the backboard and just bodies the goalie out of the net to pave the way for that goal. 4-0 lead now. Blue tries to take a shot. Read well by Stinger. She's able to get out off that post and get into the dead space. Cut that one off. Yumo tries to make a touch, but it goes the direction of the black squad. Stinger lets blue go flying by. Gonna try and fall on it, just past the ball. Can't get it. Yumo in space.
Ooh.
Finds it, but it is gonna... No! Yumo gets back again. What a recovery. The defensive chops there from Yumo coming through.
Yeah, now Yumo is moving this one quickly over towards that black side. It could be an opportunity for a goal, but it's not the right angle for a score just yet. And, well, blue definitely doing a decent job on the defense here. Now blue is back on over towards their side. They're in jeopardy here, and black is trying to get that score. Run towards the top. This could be the opportunity to get that shot into the goal, but no dice for him just yet. And it seems like right now blue is doing a decent job of making sure that ball is not going into their goal as well. That black side in jeopardy once again. Blue, though, great defense here, able to touch that ball towards the mid side. It's going to end up being blue trying to get it in here, though. It could be a bit of a jeopardizing scenario here for the black squad if blue is able to get the momentum, but of course, blue for black side able to get that defense off and make that ball back on over towards the blue team side.
Brand tries to go underneath. Post catches it. Blue will pounce. That's a 5-0 lead now here for Rogers Black. Beating up the Rogers Blue team at the moment. I'm going to be honest. I've been doing this for about 7.5 years professionally. I think this blue being on Rogers Black going up against Rogers Blue might be the most confusing, the most confusing naming convention I have encountered.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be honest,
I love it. It's great.
This is... I've casted a few times where, like, teams are flipped or something like that, or something along those lines, but never two teams with the same names and then a player with the same name as the team. This is definitely a mental work for sure, but this is what we do. We lift mental weights here, and so that's what this is all about. And, well, of course, Rocket League as well, a mental game as well. And as you said, yep, open field opportunity here for Rogers Black to get a score line onto the blue side here. But another good interception coming in through. Ooh, it's an open goal, though. It could be the one to go in. No.
So as she comes downfield, she's so focused on the ball, doesn't grab the midline of boost. Should have been trying to grab that middle track down the field to give herself some boost to get up. Goes to make the jump, finds herself empty, and unfortunately, that goal should have had one. Will elude them. Stinger looks for the chip on Ren on the side while Yumo up trying to finish, and that one will touch down just outside the post. 5-0 as Rogers Black takes down Rogers Blue. Black takes down Rogers Blue.
Rogers Black able to take that first one, and I gotta say, Blue, the player for Rogers Black, was doing a great job in that game. He was setting things up really well.
He blew them away, would you say?
I would say he blew away for the black side. I would say the blue player blew away. But anyways, Black definitely gonna go up 1-0.
Blue squad away. Blue.
Good gameplay out of them. And Supersonic, kind of what's your take on that one? What made Black able to take that first one?
Again, it's one of those ones where it looks like the Rogers Black just a little bit faster than their blue counterpart. And what they're doing is they're doing the same thing that we just watched happen in the previous game, at least in positioning, right? I think the Burnsville squad, we could say, has probably got a bit more mechanics at the high end, right? A little bit higher skill ceiling. But what they're doing is they're doing that spacing on the field, utilizing it really well. When they're on that offensive half, that first man is usually trying to 50 the first player and then get themselves into a one-on-one against the goalie. And then that second man's able to basically just sit midfield and wait to see what happens. Either the defender gets a big clear and they turn back and their first one back, they get to pick the ball up and then they're the first man and they just roll the ball back downfield or just boom it back down into the offensive half. Or something goes well and the ball drops in front of net if it doesn't just automatically go in and he just comes in and cleans it up. Blue had a ton of free goals there. I think 3 out of those 5 were just open net. Just kind of jump and cool. Nobody's here. This is free. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, open goal. Let's go. It's just
To be
kind of what
honest,
it
those are the
was.
hardest ones to hit. They're terrifying because if you miss, you know that your teammate is gonna laugh and give you kind of razz
Right,
you
right.
and give you a hard time about it. Or you might get a couple like LOL quick shot, nice shot, something from the opposing team. You know that that's always a possibility. So those open nets, the hardest ones, but I mean, it has been just perfectly straight down the center. We'll be getting into that game in just a moment. It looks like one of the players crashed out. They're going to get him reloaded back into the match, and then we'll get underway.
Yeah, for sure. And Blue, I think there's open possibility here for rebound. And like you said, these teams have probably scrimmed each other a lot.
Oh,
And so I'm thinking they probably know each other in and out, which is definitely another interesting dynamic to look at.
yeah, it's one of those ones where just kind of the tendencies of the other team. Probably if this is a situation that happens often, they do end up scrimming each other. This is one of those things where you know them well enough that you kind of know how, if you're the team that wins that scrim most often, you kind of know how to pick them apart, kind of abuse some situations and make the best of it for yourself. So uh, we get into that kick down. Yumo up against Ren in the opening kickoff, bombed into the back left corner here on the offensive push. Blue up early, but Stinger, she's able to cut that play off, beat him to the ball. Double commit out of Yumo and Stinger. That's going to open up the backboard. And a good turn from Stinger. Ren not there to finish. So good chase down. Going to be able to secure the boost. Looking for the bump in the corner. Recognizes that Blue's left the wall. Great decision to go ahead and turn around. But Yumo, little far forward. And Blue will abuse that situation. Able to bring this one just over off that ceiling read straight into a ground pinch and just hit a 60-mile-per-hour worm burner down the field.
Yeah, I mean, he had that boost right there, and that's what we were talking about before in one of our previous games, is that boost can be so influential when there's nobody to guard that goal. If you're quick enough, you can just blast that ball into the goal. The physics goes in your favor, and, well, boom, it's there. You're ready to go. Now it seems like Blue trying to pilot that one again over towards that Blue goal, and that is another good goal coming in for Black. Stinger not able to get it. Yumo was next up and wasn't able to intercept either. That is how you line things up if you're Black.
Kickoff number 3. Ren up, down in front of the net. Yumo leaves early. He'll be able to clear that one through the corner for a moment of safety, but immediately cuts back in. You can kind of see that play where it feels like Yumo's trying to basically be that primary front player and open up the situations for Stinger to then try and make a play downfield, pinch off the teammate, pushes it their direction. Yumo battling with Blue through the corner, going to cut down, get the bounce. Blue, great job actually to just go ahead and position himself on the back wall and dead stop and wait to see if that ball crosses his path, knowing that Ren was in net. Yumo able to stretch back, make the save, gets bumped out of the play here by that offensive player now. Stinger up, down. Here comes Ren. Shot, just a miss. 2 ships pass in the night. Nothing comes.
Yeah, I'd say that was definitely an opportunity there, but regardless, it's going to be wavered that time around. Now Blue with the ball in his hand. It's going to be dropped eventually, though. Here comes Ren with a massive hit. You could line it up for the Blue goal here. This could be another one for Rogers Black as Ren continues to pilot this one across the field, now towards the orange side. A bit in jeopardy. Yumo for the shot, but not able to get the angle just right to get it in. And, well, now you're in a dangerous position again. It's an open goal, and Blue gets a freebie right there for that free goal right there. 3-0 for Rogers Black.
Well, this one starting to be a bit of a runaway here. as blue from Rogers Black continues to blow blue away. I'm done. I got to get out of there. I've said it
Blue
enough
for
times.
black.
I'm trying to find like new ways to like work the color scheme together.
Right.
And I think we've hit a point where my brain just feels like it's been in a blender, and I'm out of options. The well runneth dry.
Yeah, the well's running dry. But talk about a blender. Blue is in the blender right now for sure. And not the player, guys. The team. Blue down 0-4 right now. Definitely a troublesome scenario to be in. You got to find a way to get yourself out of the hole. And well, now Blue, the player, piloting this ball with a good flip reset towards the top side. And now trying to move this one back over towards that goal again. This could be an opportunity for him to get that score. And well, so far, just laterally moving across the goal is the ball, but now back, flying over towards the orange side is that ball, but Blue, of course, already there, ready to go, making sure that he's got himself on that ball, ready to pilot it back over towards that blue side, and right now it seems like Black just continuing to always be one step ahead of Blue right here.
Touchdown, Yumo on the follow-through, gets underneath, a bunch of good soft touches, and now shadowing the ball, staying with it. Stinger a little over-aggressive there, trying to follow through behind. That's really dangerous in twos when you actually come up that far behind your primary man, especially when they're doing those kind of like little soft touches looking for the 50s, because at any point, a 50 can turn into a pinch off of a car and get rocketed back the other way. Want to give yourself a little bit more time to be able to think. That one's a great decision from Stinger to come through on the backside while Blue's not paying attention and able to get that touch. Shot just off the post. Follow-ups there from Ren.
Ren lines it up. That's a great lineup there from Ren, and you can see the teamwork from Rogers Black is on point right now. As the inter-school battle continues to ensue, Black definitely proving themselves right now as 1 minute 40 left on the clock. That's time to work with if you're Blue, but it is, it's going to be tight. I don't think that they can get that many goals in this amount of time, so Rogers Black looking to go up 2-0 here in the series. As now Red with the ball again, Yuma with the rapid defense, but Blue maybe to line it up. It's going to be a shot into the goal, and right in it goes. Another one for Black, 6-0.
Was this one going no matter what? Yeah, it was. Stinger couldn't get to the outside edge of the ball, and in the end just bodies it through, so 6-0 now. Minute 26 left here. Yumo able to get this read. Be able to maintain possession momentarily. Needs to jump early, though. Blue, bit quick. Nobody there on defense as the last one goes flying by, and Blue just going to let that one roll in. Let a second or two extra come off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's just continuous goals coming out of this Black squad right now. Blue is just moving this one into the blue goal consistently. I mean, it's kind of ironic a little bit, of course, but regardless, yeah. Rogers Black doing a great job of keeping the consistency in this game right here, and well, now it's going to be that ball again back on over towards that blue side, dangerously close, and Blue another freebie. Just keep marking them up on the chalkboard. The tallies going in the favor of Black consistently. The perfect lineup comes in. Yumo not there, Stinger not there. Ball goes in.
8-0 now. As this, if it hadn't already, it's starting to get out of control here. Blue gonna let Ren take primary touch on this. Stinger touchdown. Blue up, gonna try and soft touch for himself. Looking for the touch through the corner. Has the flip reset, not able to utilize it to get another, but Ren able to follow. Blue, quick cut. Back to the ground, and Yumo gets a small piece of it. That should allow Stinger to have a touch. The whiff comes through, though. Ren should be able to control this one through. Tries to go low underneath Yumo, but Yumo actually able to nose and boost down to get in the way.
Yeah, now with only 30 seconds left on the game clock, it's going to be Rogers Black just being that dominant force that they are. Blue looking so good in this matchup, and it seems like right now that Stinger is also just making sure that everything is being set up the way it needs to be. Another demo does come through right there, but still 5 seconds left on that game clock, and Rogers Blue, they have been left in the dust. I mean, unbelievable gameplay out of Black right now.
They're now up 2-0 in the series. Still the most confusing series I've ever casted.
Me too.
It's been interesting thus far, and really Rogers Black kind of showing that they're at this point. I think we can make the expectation of kind of what we think is going to happen in this next one. Um, it really is just a kind of a skill level matchup here where Blue and Ren just have that better field awareness. That positioning has just been clean out of them time and time again. Very few times you see them double commit forward. You typically almost always have somebody back, or at least someone, if they're going to come forward, that has an idea of where that pinch or where that 50 is going to go. So they're able to utilize that play if it doesn't necessarily go the way that they want. Um, few too many cheat ups here on the side of Rogers Blue, but they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to find a way to get ahead of this Rogers Black squad, which is really only going to come off of either a good read or a just straight up whiff from Rogers Black, which we haven't seen. Rogers Black's been pretty clean so far.
Yeah, they have. And, Rogers Black, I'd say the teamwork is a massive component. Another thing is Blue, always being that shot taker, finding those goals, finding those openings, and I mean, just knows how to line them up so well. You see it consistently where I he identifies those openings. Once he does, he knows where to go on the arena to line up that ball after the assistance comes through, and he's just able to find the direction to get that ball in every time.
Well, game 3 now underway. Blue opening shot, great placement, greater save though comes out from Yumo, and Blue has to jump on the nose of Stinger to cut off the counter-attack play out the gate. So huge stoppage there from Yumo to kick things off.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And well, now it seems like right now as the ball gets piloted over towards that orange side, we'll see what Yumo can do this time around. Not a whole lot. I think he just got demoed, but he's already back in and ready to go as he tries to line this one up for a good defense. Ooh, the shot's not great, though, and it's going to be Ren piloting this ball once more. It's going to be going back on over towards that orange side, though, soon possibly, unless Blue able to get another beautiful shot off Yumo, though, for the interception. Here comes Ren, though, to try to get the goal. The third goalie is able to get that block, though, on the ball, and, well, seems like right now Rogers Black having trouble getting that ball into the blue goal, but of course, speak of the devil, Ren able to get that ball in eventually.
Yeah, so here again, Stinger's coming forward trying to read the play, but is unaware of Ren. Doesn't have enough awareness that knows that Ren's right behind that ball, kind of hidden behind it, and just power bombs it downfield as soon as Ren saw that Stinger was too far forward and out of the box.
For sure. And well, right now as we head in towards the next one, it's going to end up being a little bit less than 4 minutes left on the game clock. Lots to be done here in this possibly last game here in the series. We'll see if Rogers Blue can secure that reverse sweep. And Supersonic, I just had another thought. I just realized that, well, actually, never mind. I was gonna say Rogers Blue is on Rogers Blue, but no, he's on Rogers Black. So I was just gonna add a little bit of another layer of confusion. I'm not quite sure that one applies.
The confusing part is that Blue is on Black. That's
the confusing part about it.
If Blue was on Blue, the blue would all be together, and that would probably fix the blender that's going on in my head.
That's true. Yeah. The mental blender's real, folks, but regardless, it's going to be Rogers Black trying to definitely make the power button to that blender turn on against the blue side, as it seems like they're doing a good job of doing so, as Yumo trying to be here on the defense. Nice little boost usage as the ball goes straight in, possibly, but Stinger, good defense there to secure that blue defense, and, well, blue, able to secure that goal.
Up. Shot on. Let us get one. The conversation between the two squads now in the chat, and Yumo just being like, come on, bro. Like, go to the same school. Help me out a little bit here. Blue tries to roll another one through on Yumo, but the post is there to make the save. Ren now. Chip high, both playing that near post. Stinger jumps behind, and the slow down play from Ren will find its way through. Great chip here. waits for both of them to jump. He fakes the secondary touch and then just catches and runs away with it to that low side corner after he sees both players double onto that front post.
And I mean, right now, if you're Rogers Black, you could literally just play defense for the rest of this game. I bet they'll try to go for more goals, but you could play that way. You could just play for your goal save and let this clock run out, but they are looking to get another one. Blue goes for a shot in, nothing right there. A little bit of demo comes through, and it seems like right now Rogers Black definitely trying to get a few more to add onto the board. The demos are happening left and right, though, right now, and it seems like Emo as well, trying to keep that good defense over towards that blue side as Ren, though, as well. Shots into the goal. Nothing for him just yet, though, as possibly that could be it, as Blue able to pick it up eventually, get another one on the board. 4-0.
Yeah, you're never going to see a Rocket League team, I mean, maybe, very rare occasion, you'll see them go ahead and just play that defense. Majority of Rocket League players, egomaniacs, all of them. Every single one of them wants to score, wants to be that striker, wants to put the ball in the back of the net. That is what the feel-good moment comes from. You're on the hunt for the dopamine. It's coming from the shot. In the back of the net, Blue tries to find another one off the double touch, off the interesting secondary approach on that ball. Chip up and over. Stinger doesn't have enough to get there. The floater finds its way home.
Yeah, that's definitely another pivotal shot there for Blue, and Stinger so close. But Blue's able to get it in there in the end, of course. And, well, 5-0 now for Rogers Black. A minute and a half, a little bit more than that to work with if you're Rogers Blue. And it seems like right now it could be an opportunity if they're able to really, really get it together here. But, I mean, it is just looking like they are in the backseat consistently, and Rogers Black are constantly the pilots. It seems like this inter-school battle definitely going in the favor of Rogers Black right now.
Blue going to try and get it past Yumo in the corner. Reads it. Stinger able to cut it off, but ran just high off the crossbar and out. Blue going to secure the boost and immediately turn. Going with a lot of speed. It looks like being asked for one more, being given one goal, has only made them want to play quicker on the side of Rogers Black. I don't know that the attempting to communicate with your fellow schoolmates. Oh, there's the one. Stinger gets it. It does happen. It comes through. Now you have to stop the Brazil, though. You can't score one and then let them get the Brazil on you. You got to hold them off now.
Yeah, I mean, this is where Rogers Blue, you have the opportunity. It's 42 seconds left. I mean, it's 42 seconds left on the game clock, right? Like, you have time to get something going, but it is not an easy task. You got to move quickly. You got to get the goals quick. You could save it here, though.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's going to be able to happen. Yeah, Blue now able to get another one. Again, now you just cancel out that one goal from Rogers Blue, and it seems like right here that Black just continuing to always have an answer.
Well, 32 seconds separates the avoidance of a Brazil scoreline happening for a second time on broadcast today. Ren up, soft touch, Blue looking to finish, and we are going to South America.
Yep, there's the Brazil scoreline that you were talking about, 1-7 right now. Rogers Blue, you got 22 seconds to do this. I don't think you can, you know. Rogers Black definitely probably going to secure this one for the 3-0. I mean, isn't that 3 on the day? 3 3-0s?
This will be the third 3-0 of the day, and we're going to continue to watch that scoreline open up as we get into these final seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
Blue
it's just
finish it off.
another one, right? You know, it's Blue for another one. Another one. I mean, this is just continuous good teamwork, good goals, good lining up coming here from Blue. A demo off the rip here, and, well, it seems like Rogers Black are the better Rogers team right now as they're able to take away the inter-school battle. Maybe Yumo could get one here. Oh, the clock just barely doesn't go in his favor.
No. No. The pain. Oh, man. one of those ones where you're like, yes, we got it. One to get away with, and then it just gets right there to the line and the time runs out. Rough one.
That might be the exemplar kind of occurrence right here of this entire game. Like, right? Just
Yeah.
so close sometimes, but then nope, it just goes right away. Blue's able to always come in, get the goal, or whatever it may be. But it's going to be Rogers Black in the inter-school battle, taking the 3-0 folks in. I'm going to wipe a little sweat off my brow for that one because no more blue on black. Well, black's playing blue, so thank goodness. But
yeah, just an absolute ton of ton of confusion there. I definitely feel like the next sponsor Mnvl needs to look out for in case this ever happens again. We need some sort of blender sponsor. I don't know, like Ninja, somebody like
Cuisinart, maybe?
Is it Cuisinart? I thought Cuisinart, Cuisinart. I don't know how to pronounce.
I don't know.
You're probably right. Whatever. Look, we don't do math well. We don't say blue on black. Does blue away? We probably shouldn't try and figure out pronunciations or spellings either. Don't ask me to spell whatever word we just said.
Or whatever function. I don't know. Who knows? But regardless, it's going to end up being a quick break here, guys. When we come back, we've got a nice little interview for you from Rogers Black. Definitely going to be an interesting one, so don't go anywhere, folks. Interview coming right up. Welcome back, everybody, to the Minnesota Varsity League. My name is Epiphany, and I have been joined by Supersonic today. And we are joined by one more person right now for an interview. We are joined by Ren from Rogers Black, who just took a 3-0 win over Rogers Blue. And Ren, hope you're feeling good about that one. We've got some questions to ask you right now. And first thing I want to ask you is, how does it feel to do an inter-school battle? I mean, I'm sure you guys scrim, right? But talk to me about kind of the dynamic with that.
It was definitely a little different because I knew who I was going against, and I haven't done that yet this season. So going against some of my closest friends was a little weird.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, probably feels a little weird. Um, I I have to ask a question for my own sanity. Uh, did you guys really need to put blue on the black? Like, why are you guys Rogers Black and not Rogers Blue? Because for us, having to say that Rogers Blue on black or blue on Rogers Black scores on Rogers Blue has to be the most confusing situation I've been in. Can we talk about maybe swapping your names?
Uh, you
The
know, I,
team's
I
up for that.
I never thought about that until you just mentioned that and how
Yeah.
confusing that would be. But blame the coach.
Yeah,
It's entirely his
okay,
fault.
I need to know who the coach is. I need names, phone numbers, home address. You just send that all over to me on Discord, and I'm gonna go have a conversation because I got put through a blender on that.
Yeah, we were
Unfortunate.
talking about how we should maybe get a blender sponsor here, like maybe a Ninja Blender sponsor. But regardless, back to the game, of course. I want to ask you about the teamwork here because Blue, you, both of you were doing such a good job of finding the openings for these goals. I want to ask you, what's the dynamic like between you guys? How are you lining up these goals? I mean, you find these openings and you always find a way to get some kind of goal going. How do you communicate in your games in order to make that successful?
It's just playing the game a lot. You kind of like develop like an almost like
Hmm.
vision of where you can like see the ball going. So once you just play the game for long enough, and then you can like kind of start to like call that out in comps, and then just have one person just go at it, and usually it turns out better than it doesn't.
What's I'm gonna try and direct that question just a little bit more direct in terms of what's the game plan for you guys typically going in? Where do you guys find yourself as more of a rotational, more of a do you find yourselves to be better, more comfortable as an aggressive offensive team? What do you think your strength lies in?
Oh, definitely just staying on offense. If we can keep the other team on defense, we're doing something right. So once we get on defense, it's a little bit. I mean, we just get back on offense, and then we score.
Yeah,
Right, right.
I mean, best defense is a super strong offense, so you just don't have to play
Right.
defense. Yeah, that's the way to handle it.
That's the plan.
Exactly. Well, you guys did amazing today. Obviously, a 3-0 win against the other team in your school on the Mnvl broadcast. It doesn't get crazier than that. But Ren, thank you so much for joining us. I got one more question for you. Any shout outs you want to give? Coaches, players, staff, whoever it may be.
The coach Emerson, for organizing the whole team and getting everyone together, and then my parents for letting me play in Rocket League for way too many hours a day.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Supersonic, we have a name now.
That's
Anyways.
oh, dude, my I immediately my eyes opened up wide. I was like, I've got the name. I'm on to you. I'm coming for you, Emerson. Uh, yeah. So thank you for giving up the first piece of information.
The rest will be coming your way. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
sweet.
Yeah.
I'll be keeping a close eye on the DMs.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ren, for joining us. Glad to have you. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, Supersonic, it has been a day of 3-0s. I kind of want to hear your take on the day, your analysis, just based on the point that we're at within the season. What are you thinking moving forward here?
Uh, thought on season as a whole, or did you say on Rogers specifically?
Oh, on the season as a whole.
Oh,
Sorry.
season as a whole. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my brain started. I felt like my brain added a word in there that didn't come out of your mouth, so I was like, let me confirm before I start answering a question that wasn't asked. Yeah, no. So far, it's been really cool to kind of see the dynamics, see some of the teams make some alterations. We've now gotten to see uh, a team go up against the players within the same school. We've gotten to see some mismatches. We've kind of seen everything. at this point, and it's really cool to kind of see where the talent lies at,
Right,
and
right.
one, just see how high the skill ceiling actually is at the high school level, is really cool. This has been a treat to get to be a part of and kind of hang out and do these broadcasts with everybody each week.
Yeah, things are just continuing to heat up. Things are continuing to get more intense, and the battle for the top continues to ensue here in the fall MNVL season here in Rocket League and across all of our other titles. And I want to thank you, Supersonic, for joining me today. I want to thank everybody who played, and of course, everybody in the lovely chat for tuning in for the stream. Thank you so much for joining us today. When we come back, it will be Tuesday, and we will have some good old League of Legends action. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll see you next time.